I'm Claire, 58, from Pasadena. Last Tuesday morning, I saw a hotel reservation on our shared iPad, Fairmont Miramar, Santa Monica, M. Morales, +1. Then I found the emails from a woman named Elena. I booked room 412 and asked my sister-in-law, Anna, to come with me. Friday, Octa 10, we checked in. I heard laughter through the wall from room 414. At 7 p.m., my husband, Marcus, and Elena took the elevator down. I followed them to the sidewalk and called his name. No shouting, just, "We need to talk." I didn't call his name in the street more than once, no scene. The night air off Ocean Ave felt cool on my face. I could smell salt and that hotel soap smell drifting through the lobby doors. I told them both, inside. No audience needed. We went back through the Fairmont Miramar doors. Same orchids, same soft lighting. The piano was going, light, not loud. I didn't want the bar. I wanted a corner where we could talk without whispering. There's a little lounge area behind a tall fig tree in the lobby, 2 couches, a low table. I sat with Anna. They sat across from us with a full cushion of space between them. 15 minutes, I said. Respect, no interrupting. I went straight to it. How long? 6 months, he said. He didn't dress it up. Mostly when I traveled, he added. A few dinners here in Santa Monica. Tonight would have been the first time here. He didn't blink when he said it. I appreciated the honesty and hated the content. I looked at her. You knew he was married. Yes, she said. I told myself it was complicated. That was me avoiding the truth. Why him? He listened, she said. We were on the same La Jolla project and I pushed it. I own that. I nodded once. Okay, this ends tonight. No contact, blocked. If you see each other at work, you keep it short and public. That's it. She said, I understand, and she meant it. That didn't make me like her. Then I laid out the rules for my marriage. Therapy, real therapy. 3 months minimum. Full phone and email transparency for 90 days. No non-essential travel. If you travel, I know before you leave and I know where you sleep. And one more thing. No touching me unless I say so. He said yes to all of it. No debate, no long speech. Good. We didn't need a speech. I looked at Elena. This is done. Go home. She nodded, stood up, and left with her chin level. I didn't enjoy watching her go. I was just relieved the triangle was shrinking to a line I could manage. Marcus lingered like he had 1,000 things to say. Not tonight, I told him. Drive home. I'll talk to you in the morning. He went. Anna blew out a breath and looked at me like I'd just landed a plane. You okay? Not really, I said. But I'm steady. We rode the elevator back up to 412. The hallway still smelled like eucalyptus. Inside the room, the plates from dinner were on the table, the balcony door cracked, the ocean sound sneaking in. I started writing times in a small CVS notebook because it helped. 4:30 laughter next door, 5:30 text from San Diego, 7 elevator, 7:05 lobby sighting, 7:12 sidewalk. Anna asked, Do you want to talk it to death or sit? Sit, I said. My head's loud enough. I texted Marcus one thing at 10:41 p.m. Drive safe. He sent back, canceled the room, dropping her, going home now, I'm sorry. I didn't reply. I turned off the balcony light and listened to the ocean for a full minute. The day had been a lot. I didn't need a poetic ending. I needed sleep. The night wasn't dramatic. I woke up once at 2, rolled over, and went back to sleep. If you've ever been in a hotel room after a hard fight, you know the feeling. You want quiet more than you want answers. We checked out a little before 8. Same desk, same smile. Hope you enjoyed your stay, the clerk said. It was useful, I said. Anna and I drove the 5 minutes to Huckleberry Bakery and Cafe on Wilshire. Line out the door, the case full of pastries. You can smell the bread as soon as you walk in. I grabbed a two-top by the window. Marcus came in 6 minutes late. He looked like he hadn't slept. I didn't help him with that. Okay, I said. Schedule. Wednesday, 10 a.m., mediator in West LA. 2 therapy consults next week. You show up to both. 90 days of full transparency. No optional travel. If you have to go somewhere, I know before you leave, and I get proof you're where you say you are. He said yes to every line. No sighs, no eye rolls. Good. I added. I tell the kids first, then you follow with the truth. Age appropriate, no details. He nodded. Okay. We drank our coffee. Anna gave us space by going to the counter for extra napkins she didn't need. Marcus said, I forgot how to be proud of myself. Start with small things, I said. Tell the truth. Show up. Be on time. That's it. We didn't hug in the parking lot. We didn't promise forever. He went to Pasadena. I went with Anna to pick up her dry cleaning, and then home. The drive on the 10 felt like a transition, not a movie scene. Sunset's pretty, but you still have to take the right exit. Saturday at home was normal on purpose. I changed sheets in the guest room. He texted when he got to the house. Then he made chicken and rice because that's what his hands do when his brain is fried. We ate at our kitchen table like we always do. It's got a ding from when Adriana knocked over a science project in 8th grade. I stared at that dent the whole meal, not because I was thinking deep thoughts. It's just where my eyes landed. We didn't talk about the affair all night. I told him CVS had the flu shots in, and Trader Joe's had a new pumpkin bread mix. He told me he found the missing hex key for the chair. Sometimes normal helps your heart stop jumping. After dinner, I took a walk around the block. Pasadena felt like it always does in October. Cooler at night, quiet streets, neighbors putting out little pumpkins on porches. A couple walked a dog. Somebody's TV was loud. On my way home, Anna called. Checking on you, she said. I'm okay, I said. Not good, just okay. Okay as a win today, she said. Sleep in the guest room. Lock the door if you want. No one gets to be heard on your schedule but you. I slept in the guest room that night and the next few nights. He didn't argue. He put a note on the kitchen counter with his work plan for the week, times and places, so I didn't have to ask. It wasn't romantic, it was considerate. I'll take considerate. At 2 a.m, my phone buzzed. It was 3 photos from Marcus, front door, kitchen counter with our wedding photo at the edge, the guest room lamp. That one made me laugh a little. Here, still here, choosing here, he wrote under each photo. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. The point wasn't for me to comfort him. The point was for him to show he was where he said he'd be. Sunday was kid day. We split it. Morning for Adriana in Portland because of nap schedules. Afternoon for Daniel because of his time zone. I called Adriana first. I didn't sugarcoat it. Your dad had an affair, I said. 6 months. I found out this week. We set rules. We're starting counseling. I'm safe. You don't have to fix it. She didn't try to fix it. She cried, said she was mad, and then asked 3 practical questions. Are you eating? Are you sleeping? Do you want me to fly down? I told her yes, kind of, and not right now. Her daughter yelled, "Banana!" in the background at something none of us could see. Life goes on in the dumbest, most helpful ways. Daniel was quiet when I told him. He's like Marcus that way. He asks questions when he's scared. Timeline, plan. What do you need from me? He said. Just keep your life, I said. I'll keep you posted. He said, I love you, Mom. We both sat with that for a second. Marcus called them both after me. He didn't defend himself. He told the truth. That mattered. Later he texted, calls were rough. They should be. Thank you for going first. Wednesday we had the first session with the mediator, David Chen, in West LA. Neutral office, soft chairs, a bookshelf full of titles about trust and repair. He asked why we were there. Marcus said, I had an affair for 6 months. I want to repair what I broke. I said, I need to see consistency, not speeches. David didn't take sides. He made us keep answers short and real. He gave us a weekly check-in script, 30 minutes, no phones, say what you felt, say what you need, reflect back. He also gave us purposeful time once a week, coffee at Huckleberry or a walk at Palisades Park. No heavy talks, just remind each other we still live in the same world. He told Marcus, skip the grand gestures, keep the small promises. He told me, if you need space, say it early, not after you explode. We left, got lunch at the Misfit on Santa Monica BLVD, and ate outside because the weather was perfect. We didn't talk about the past. We laid out the next 10 days like a calendar. That felt better than rehashing. That night, I went with Anna to Palisades Park just to walk. The bluff path is my speed. Flat, ocean view, benches if you need them. We didn't go for deep talk. We pointed out dogs and decided which one we'd take home if we weren't responsible people. The air off the water makes it easier to breathe. It doesn't fix anything. It helps. Back home that week, we kept it boring by design. He set his phone on the table after dinner. If I wanted to look, I looked. If I didn't, I didn't. I didn't make a show of it. He didn't narrate his own good behavior. Honesty works better when it isn't performative. On Friday, we did our first 30-minute check-in at the kitchen table. He used the script. This week, I felt shame telling the kids. I also felt relief starting counseling. I said, this week I felt steady sleeping in the guest room. I also felt sad ordering for one at lunchtime. He repeated my words back to me like the script says. I repeated his. We stopped when the timer went off. Stopping on time was the best part. No one spiraled. We just did the exercise and went on with our night. Saturday, our neighbor Linda had chili on her porch and invited us. We went for an hour. It was fine. People were normal. A couple of them looked at Marcus too long, which he noticed. We left before it turned into a quiz. On the walk home, he said, thanks for not making me pretend. I said, pretending is what got us here. Week 2, I was at my desk at the college when a text popped up from a number I didn't recognize. The preview said, I am sorry. My stomach dropped. Elena. I didn't open it. I called Anna. She texted, I said. Delete and block, Anna said. That's not a conversation for you to hold. So I blocked and deleted without reading it. Then I wrote one line in my notebook. Kept my rule today. It felt small and solid. I told Marcus that night. He looked miserable. He said he'd tell the resort not to put him and Elena on the same project again. Not punishment, I said. Boundaries. Our second session with David went deeper. He asked Marcus, what did the affair give you that you didn't ask for at home? Marcus said, I felt picked. I stopped asking Claire to pick me. David asked me, where did you stop asking for more? I said, when the kids moved out, I got good at not wanting things. He gave us new homework. Marcus had to start one honest conversation a week that had nothing to do with logistics. I had to ask for one thing I wanted, not needed, wanted, and say it out loud without a long disclaimer. I picked something dumb on purpose. I want that blue mug at the farmer's market we skipped last month, I told him. He smiled. Then we're getting the mug. We did. It was the dumbest nice errand. I held the mug all afternoon like it might break, then used it for tea on the porch that night. He didn't make a big deal. He said, looks like you. I said, what do I look like? He said, like yourself. It was simple and correct. That was enough. Not everything was smooth. Week 3, he had a legit last-minute walkthrough in Long Beach. He called me from the office and laid out the plan before I asked. Arrival time, lobby photo, site photo, call on the way home. He did all 3. At 10:04 p.m., my phone buzzed with a spam text, and my body did that old panic rush for 5 seconds. Then I saw the spam likely tag and laughed. Triggers are boring once you notice them. A few nights later, I moved back into our bedroom. No ceremony. I was making the bed and realized I didn't feel like a guest in my own house anymore. He didn't cheer. He brought me the better pillow. We slept turned away from each other like people who own their sides of the bed. In the morning, he made coffee and left it on the counter without a note. Perfect. We kept the walks at Palisades Park once a week because they helped. We didn't talk heavy every time. Sometimes we just walked, looked at the pier, pointed out a weird dog sweater, and split a cookie. Light is allowed. In fact, it's necessary if you don't want the whole relationship to become a project file. The kids checked in here and there. Adriana sent photos of Luna eating blueberries like it was a sport. Daniel sent a voice note about his students. We didn't drag them into the details. They didn't ask for play-by-plays. That made everything easier. 2 months in, the house felt normal again, not because anything was magically fixed, but because we stopped auditioning for each other. He put his phone on the counter at night. I asked for it less. He canceled 2 optional trips without me bringing it up. He fixed the kitchen cabinet door I'd been complaining about for a year. I noticed. I said thank you. We moved on. On a clear Sunday toward the end of October, we drove back to Santa Monica. No agenda. We walked through the Fairmont Miramar lobby like regular people. New orchids, different pianist, same elevator ding. We didn't go upstairs. We sat in that same little lounge with the fig tree. It felt smaller in a good way. We took a short walk at Palisades Park after that. We sat on a bench facing the water. I didn't think big thoughts. I thought about dinner and trash day and how I should schedule my flu shot at CVS on Colorado before the line gets crazy. He didn't grab my hand. I reached for his for a minute, then let go when it felt right. That's us now. Nothing performative, just actual choices. Here's the part people always ask about. Are you two okay? My answer changes by the week. Today? We're fine, not fabulous, not broken, fine. We do our check-ins. We show up to the sessions. He tells me his schedule without me dragging it out of him. I say what I want without apologizing. We eat dinner. We pay bills. We text our kids dumb memes. And that night, after Santa Monica, after the walk, after the "are we getting groceries or ordering in?" conversation, we drove home, did the dishes, and set the alarm like always. No speeches. He knows it's inches, not miles. I know I can say stop if I need to. We're trying again with our eyes open. That's the whole truth. Week 4 rolled in and felt normal. Not happy ever after. Just a week with a plan. I kept the guest room for a few more nights. He didn't push. He left his phone on the counter after dinner and went to fold laundry like a regular human. That helped more than any giant apology. Our 3rd session with David Chen landed on a Tuesday afternoon. We went separately, met in the lobby, and sat down on time. David asked Marcus to describe one thing he did this week that matched his promises. I canceled 2 optional trips, he said. I told my assistant, I'm not staying overnight unless it's absolutely necessary, and I'll give Claire itinerary details ahead of time. David nodded. Good. Keep doing that without announcing it. Then he looked at me. What's one thing you did for yourself this week? I said. I took my lunch outside and didn't power through emails. I walked for 20 minutes and didn't cry. It sounded small. It wasn't. After the session, we went to Huckleberry for coffee because it's close and familiar. We split a blueberry muffin and didn't make it a metaphor. We sat in silence for a minute. He said, Do you need anything from me right now? I said, No, sitting is fine. So we sat. That Friday, we did our 30-minute check-in again. Timer on the counter, phones in a drawer, rule card next to the salt. He said, I felt relief canceling those trips. I also felt embarrassed when I had to tell my team why. I said, I felt better at work this week. I also felt weird seeing your name pop up on my phone, even when the text was about groceries. He repeated back what I said. I repeated his. The timer beeped. We cleaned up the kitchen like 2 adults who can follow instructions. It sounds silly. It works. Saturday morning, we went to the farmer's market for that blue mug. The vendor still had it. I picked it up like it might break and paid without arguing with myself. Back home, I made tea and took it to the porch. Marcus came out, leaned on the post, and said, That looks like you. I asked, What does that mean? He shrugged. Right size, solid, a little new. I rolled my eyes and laughed because, fine, that was sweet. We tried a small date the next week, a walk at Palisades Park right before sunset, and then a simple dinner at the Misfit. I picked the inside seat, not the door seat, just to see if I could. I did fine. The fries were good. We didn't talk about us for once. We pointed out dogs and debated whether that one couple was on a first date. On the walk back to the car, he offered his hand. I took it for half a block. Let go at the light. That was enough. The kids kept checking in. Adriana FaceTimed and held the phone so I could see Luna try to put socks on the cat. Daniel sent a photo of a whiteboard filled with grammar notes and said, "This is my brain." I sent back a photo of my blue mug. He wrote, "This is better." One night, I moved back into our bedroom for real. It was a Tuesday, no ceremony. I carried my pillow down the hall, changed the case, and set it on my side. He didn't say a word. In the morning, my coffee was ready. I texted Anna. Back in the room. She sent back 5 clapping hands and about time, but also your pace was right. Not everything was soft. I got mad twice that week, once at a dumb commercial and once because he left a site visit earlier than scheduled and forgot to text. Neither was a blow-up. I told him straight. He said, "You're right," and didn't give me a paragraph. That helped. By the end of that month, the house felt like ours again. We didn't fix the past. We started stacking better days. I told him, "If this goes off the rails, I'll say it first." He said, "Good, I'll listen first." We kept the routine, weekly check-ins, counseling with David Chen, and one simple us thing. Some weeks it was coffee at Huckleberry. He gets drip, I get a latte. Some weeks it was a short loop at Palisades Park, just up and back past the benches, smelling the ocean and watching tourists take the same photo of the pier. Simple is easier to repeat, and repeat is how you learn a new normal. About 6 weeks in, I did something that surprised me. I put my ring back on. I'd taken it off the night I found the emails. I kept it in a little dish by the sink. That morning I was washing grapes and saw it sitting there and thought, okay, not forever, just today. I slid it on. It felt regular, not heavy. Marcus noticed around lunchtime. He didn't make a speech. He smiled and went back to his spreadsheet. 10 points for not being weird about it. We talked to the kids again that weekend. Short calls. "We're doing the work," I told them. "Not pretty, but steady." Adriana said, "I'm proud of you for making rules." Daniel said, "I'm proud of Dad for following them." I said, "I'm proud of me for not throwing a shoe." We all laughed. Laughter helps more than people think. There was one more piece I handled quietly. I emailed our church in Pasadena for a referral and set up 2 individual sessions for me with a counselor. Marcus knew. He encouraged it. I didn't go to talk about him. I went to talk about me, what I ignored, what I want now, and how to ask for it without apologizing. It was basically 50 minutes of a stranger saying, "Yes, that makes sense," and me remembering, I'm not crazy. Worth it. Work kept me grounded. Midterms hit, students needed plans and pep talks. I found myself using my own advice on them. "Don't fix everything in a week," I told a nervous 19-year-old. "Show up. Turn in the next thing. We'll stack it." I walked back to my car and thought, okay, Claire, take your own medicine. We had one awkward social event at Linda's again. Pumpkin bread, slow football on the radio, neighbors asking normal questions. One guy cornered Marcus and said something jokey about business trips. Marcus didn't engage. He said, "Not funny, man," and walked away. I heard about it later. I told him thanks for not trying to be liked. He said, "Feels better to be decent." Okay then. Around that time, Marcus showed me a note on his phone. It was a checklist, not romantic. Daily things he was doing. Text schedule in the morning, check in midday if it changes, phone on the counter at night, plan a simple us thing weekly, counseling calendar. It was very Marcus. It also worked. He wasn't winging it. Neither was I. We took a small drive one Sunday afternoon back to Santa Monica. We didn't go into the hotel. We just walked Ocean Ave, looked at the palms, and sat for a minute. The place didn't feel haunted. It felt like a building where something bad happened and a few decent things happened after. That's about as much as I'm willing to give it. On the way home, he asked, "Do you think we'll make it?" I said, "I think we're making it today." He said, "I'll take it." Then we argued lightly about whether to stop for groceries now or tomorrow. We stopped. Marriage. By the last week of October, the plan felt like habit. He still sent me lobby photos when he had late client meetings, which sounds silly but honestly helped. I asked for his phone less because I didn't need to see it to breathe. When I did ask, he handed it over without a face. We ate at home more. He fixed the cabinet door that always went crooked. I stopped tripping on it. Small wins are still wins. We had our last session of the month with David Chen. He asked us both the same question. "What would you tell the two of you from 3 weeks ago?" I said, "You can do boring things well. Boring is the bridge." Marcus said, "Don't reach for the big moment. Stack small ones." David smiled like a teacher who just saw the light bulb. That weekend, we drove up to Palisades Park late afternoon, walked slow, and didn't say much. On the way back to the car, he held out his hand. I took it for the length of the block. We let go before the crosswalk. No symbolism. It just felt right to let go then. We stopped by the Misfit and split fries again, then grabbed coffee for the drive. We didn't talk about the past. We talked about Daniel S. winter break plans and whether Adriana S. kid would like a scooter. Regular stuff, the kind you forget to appreciate until you almost lose it. Back home in Pasadena, I put laundry in. He did the dishes, and we watched half of a show we'd both pretend to remember later. I texted Anna. "We're okay." She wrote back, "Good. Keep it boring until boring feels good." Here's where people always want a line that wraps it all up. I don't have one. This isn't a movie. It's two people who messed up and decided to try. We're following our own rules. He's earning back trust one small thing at a time. I'm keeping my voice and my space. We did not promise each other forever yesterday. We promised to show up tomorrow. And that's how it really ended for us that month. We drove home, did the dishes, and set the alarm like always. No speeches. He knows it's inches, not miles. I know I can say stop if I need to. We're trying again with our eyes open. That's the whole truth.